Okay, welcome everybody back to Steve Talks Boxing X. And this week we're talking about the Cordina versus Vazquez fight, which is on the Zone this Saturday. And joining me, back by popular demand, is Darren Aston. Welcome back, Darren.
Thanks for having me again, Steve. Nice one.
Yeah, not good to have you on the show again. I was looking at Twitter this week, and I entered a competition on Matchroom's site to win flights, accommodation, tickets to the actual fight on Saturday. But I was just thinking, does anybody actually win these competitions?
Well, I actually entered that competition myself.
You've done the same.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got the wife to enter it as well. You know, two of us
I
have a
take it
go.
you've not heard back.
No, it's a shame, really. I was dusting my tuxedo off as well. But obviously, I would say someone, some lucky person has won it. But I do agree with you. You'd think, sort of like on Matchroom's Twitter page, you'd hear like a bit more of it. Like our main competition winner is this. You don't seem to hear anything.
Hear of anyone? Yeah,
nothing at all. I think the draw was it last week? Was it they done the draw on it or something? Yeah, I haven't seen anything about a winner.
No, you think they advertise it, wouldn't they, and say, look, Darren's won it. There you go. There's your tickets. There's your flights. Your tickets, accommodation.
Yeah, it's good promotion for them as well. Like when they're doing big promotions like that for the flights and everything as well, it's like major for them. But like I say, you haven't heard anything about. Oh, our big prize winner is this. Like, well, it definitely ain't me and you, is it? That's for sure.
No, I was going to say, Eddie, if you are watching the show, I know it's a bit of a long shot, or Matchroom, anyone from Matchroom, please obviously comment and tell us why or what is going on there anyway. So
if you won though, I hope you was taking me.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the missus would say about that, but we had everything planned,
Oh, right, okay.
Casino money.
Yeah, I actually went to that casino. When was it? September. I actually went there, and it was
awesome.
I actually went all in there, and it was a brilliant place to go.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, well, my next question was to you was, what did you think of Monte Carlo as a fight venue then?
I think like the actual area of Monte Carlo is superb to see in person. I was overwhelmed by it. I mean, my car I've got sitting on the drive, you don't see any of my cars there, put it this way. You see all the Bentleys and the Lamborghinis and the Mercedes and all that. I mean, what you're going to get fight night is 300 to 400 privileged people in the the tuxedos.
Yeah, Joe's fought in Monte Carlo before, hasn't he? So he's fought there before.
Yeah, do you remember Derek Chisora and Caballero was there as well?
Yeah. Awesome.
So it's a lovely fight venue for the privileged people that go, but as regards a fight venue for proper boxing fans, it's I mean, me and you would gladly lap it up. Of course, we'd go, win the ticket. But as regards what you get in the UK or worldwide in proper boxing events, it's nothing like what you get in Monte Carlo because they're just privileged people that go and lap it all up for the occasion.
Yeah. Do you think Joe? I know obviously Joe's got a massive fan base. Obviously it's money, but do you think he preferred to fight in front of his Welsh fans? Do you think?
Absolutely. I think, of course he would. I think he would. I mean, obviously Joe Cordina is going where he's been promoted to go to, and he's taking the money rightly so. But of course, I think he's waiting for that big fight in a stadium kind of fight rather than
and it's probably a bad time of year to have stadium fights, isn't it? Certainly outdoors, anyway, isn't it? Really. So
it's he's taking the Monte Carlo fight, fair enough. But I think big things are on the horizon for him.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, you're going to be placing any bets come Saturday night?
No, I like a little flutter here and there. What I'll do is I'll look at the value of what you can get. I'm not expecting great value on this fight because I would say I haven't really had too much of a look. I'd say Joe Cordina is a massive favourite. So I will be as long as there's some good value in it.
Value, that's fair enough. I was going to say, talking to Joe, what do you think his biggest win is to date then?
I I would probably go Rakimov.
Mm.
From the
He's a tough
simple.
guy, isn't he? Mm.
Oh, I was going to say. I was just going to come on to that for the simple reason the fight
Mm.
was outstanding.
Yeah.
He showed great grit and determination. It was an absolute war. He regained his belt after being stripped of it.
Yeah.
It was just a fantastic fight, and I think he made a real statement in that fight. And I think rather than just boxing cleanly in a one punch like KO, I think he showed the heart of a lion in that fight, the way the fight turned out, and that's why I think it's his standout win.
Yeah, because Rakimov, he was feared by lots of people, wasn't he? I think so. A lot of people just didn't want to fight him, did they? So
it was just a great fight to watch. I remember watching that at home, and I could have stood up in front of my screen and given him a standing ovation. It was that good. It's a brilliant watch.
Yeah, good watch. Do you think Joe is at his career peak now? Would you say?
Is he 30? I think he's 31, 32.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably reaching it. I mean, the one thing I think you can tell over Cordina over the last 4 or 5 fights, his power's definitely improved.
Yeah.
He's matured as a fighter. His power's improved. And like I say, the Rakimov fight, it stood out where he showed that he can dig in, grit and determination, fight any kind of way he wants to fight, whether he can box, he can brawl. And I think, he's definitely maturing he's probably at the peak of his career now. And this is where I think he needs to have these bigger fights now.
Yeah.
I like watching him. He's a really, really good fighter.
Yeah, he's one of my favourite fighters. I would say currently. I was going to say, if Joe wins, would you like him to fight Lee Wood as a potential fighter?
I would, but I think what we'll see is Lee Wood and Warrington rematch.
Yeah.
I think that's the way they'll go down because of the way that fight turned out, and I think they'll go with how they can hype it up now for the rematch. I think it deserves a rematch, Wood and Warrington.
Yeah.
When you see some of the fights over the years that have had rematches where you think that don't deserve the rematch, this is one for me where I think it does deserve a rematch for the way the fight turned out.
Yeah. Well, Warrington was winning the fight, and
100%.
Lee Wood does what he normally does and pulls out a punch from nowhere and finishes it. So,
would you remember when I said to you on our first one we did about the way I think Warrington could outbox Lee Wood?
Yeah.
And I remember being at the fight thinking, I've got this here in the bag, told Steve.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they'll go down, and I'm expecting possibly Cordina to fight Shakio Foster.
Yeah. That's a big
and I think
fight.
I think they'll go for a unification with that. And I think after seeing Shakio Foster the weekend, I've actually caught up with that fight, seeing the way that fight went and how good that win was.
Yeah.
I think with proper boxing fans, obviously you'd have probably had Cordina fans watching that fight with the interest of the division. I think Shakio Foster could sell a decent amount of tickets being a unification fight as well.
Yeah. Do you think that'd be America or UK?
I think they'll try to get it in Wales.
Yeah.
If they can. I mean, I know Eddie promoted that show the weekend for Shakio Foster. I think he's a free agent.
Okay.
Whereas, obviously, he's fought for Matchroom and on DAZN. I feel like Eddie can do a deal with Shakio Foster and Cordina to get the fight sorted. And I think that's the way they'll go.
Yeah, well, if he's a free agent, then hopefully it'd be an easier fight to make with, less barriers to cross. I think so.
I mean, don't quote me on that, but I think he's a free agent. I think he fought for Matchroom the weekend. I think it's a bit like Fabio Wardley, his situation.
Yeah,
he's a free agent as well.
Yeah, and
I mean,
great victory for Fabio as well.
Brilliant, loved it. I was expecting it to go like that though.
No, definitely not. Going back to the Cordina Vazquez fight, then what would be your prediction then?
Probably Cordina late stoppage, I would say. I think Vazquez is rated 40-something in the world, so I'm expecting he might be a bit below that. I think I'm expecting Joe Cordina probably to win comfortably. I don't think it's a fantastic fight. You know,
No.
it's sort of keep busy fights sort of for Joe
Yeah,
Cordina.
I was going to say, do you think it's more of a sort of a ticking over fight than more than anything? Then to keep Joe ticking over.
I would say so,
Mm.
yeah. And that's perfectly fine as long as with like a lot of fighters, you get the big fights going forward.
Yeah,
Like I say, unification fight. Get this fight out of the way. Get a unification fight, and that'll keep the fans happy. Joe Cordina fans happy.
yeah,
But obviously, we've seen the weekend just gone. You never know.
anything.
Anything
Yeah.
can happen.
Well, I think Vazquez, he's only got like 3 knockouts. I don't think he's going to be feared as a puncher.
No.
So I think they're playing it a bit safe on that. So I don't
Yeah,
think he's going to be much of a puncher really. So, but after this fight, I personally I want to see Cordina in one of them big fights. I think, and I think he probably wants it as well, doesn't he? Really, he wants
yeah.
that big name fight.
Well, what way
Yeah.
do you think they'll go with him then? Obviously, what I think. Do you think they might go Lee Wood or?
I'm not sure. Like you said, the Warrington fight is there, and I think that could easily sell tickets. You have people queuing up for that. It's an easy sell, isn't it? So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
it's a hard one, really. So it's a tough one, and they're talking about obviously Wood moving up weights as well, isn't there? So
Yeah, well, the
that.
thing is,
Mm,
with Wood and Warrington, obviously
mm,
the rematch will sell, but as we all know, there won't be a world title on the line this time.
no, no,
So it's a bit one of them. That's the probably sticking point for a rematch. But I think, from what I've seen, Wood and Warrington have both said they're both willing to do the fight again. So I think that's the way they'll go with Lee
yeah,
Wood.
yeah.
And then
Again,
if Lee Wood wins again, I think what they'll do, if Cordina manages to, perhaps they'll think, oh, if Cordina beats Shakir Foster, if we arrange that, we go Wood Cordina eventually then
yeah,
see
yeah.
how it goes.
There's certainly massive fights out there, isn't there? I think
Well, the one
for
thing you can guarantee, Steve, is that division is so exciting. Every
yeah,
fight you watch, like
mhm,
Shakir Foster the weekend against Rocky
yeah,
Hernandez, what a fight that was.
yeah, yeah.
Superb watches all the time.
Yeah, it's the quite on fire division, is it? Out of the divisions, I'll say it's an
Oh,
exciting
super.
division to watch. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
The little guys are doing us proud, I think. So,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
and I was going to say, going back, obviously, a lot's happened over the weekend. Want to ask you a couple of questions on that as well from this week and gone. The Fury and Ngannou fight. Would you say that was the right result in the end?
Well, by the time it come on, I'm not going to lie, I was at the pub, I had my beer goggles on, so I haven't watched it back a second time.
Hmm.
My first impressions was it was a very tight fight, but I do think Ngannou probably nicked it. I have
Hmm.
got to watch it back, so maybe I'll see a different perspective. Now I know. Sometimes when you watch a fight back, now you know the result, it can sort of influence you how you
Change.
look at things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I believe Ngannou nicked it. I think Tyson Fury had a horrific night. I think he probably underestimated Ngannou.
Yeah.
I feel if they had a rematch, Fury would put it right because
Yeah.
he learns as a fighter. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
But I do think the Usyk fight is very, very tricky. I think it could go either way. I really do.
Yeah. Well, we last time we spoke, we was like all fingers crossed. Fury versus Usyk. Now that 23rd of December is looking like not sure that's going to happen now.
It's not happening. On the way home from work, I actually listened to Talk Sport,
Oh,
and
okay.
Frank Warren confirmed it's not happening on the
Not
23rd.
happening.
No,
Even though Usyk was on social media a couple hours ago saying, "Yeah, I want the 23rd." Yeah. So
we've we've
someone's
got we've got fun and games for the next couple of months again. I'd say.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even when they announced that date, you would think Fury would literally had to finish the Ngannou fight and go into a training camp straight away, surely, shouldn't he?
yeah.
So,
It was always a bit bleak, but
mm,
when I saw that the contract had sort of been signed and like Fury was fighting Ngannou, I think I put a
mm,
tweet out about this. I sort of thought Fury, like millions of others, I thought Fury would box Ngannou's head off. I did. I don't know if you saw much. Speaking of bets earlier, I did have a bet. I had Wardley KO and I had Fury to win on points, so that come in.
That's
Um,
right.
well, I was expecting a late stoppage for Fury or a points win,
Mm,
but when I saw
yeah.
a points win, I thought it was
Mm.
going to be like a 10 round shutout.
Yeah,
Not
I
the way
expected
things went.
Fury. Yeah, I expected Fury to hit a move and get the rounds in the bag in preparation for the Usyk fight. That's what I thought would
Exactly. Yeah.
happen. But like I said, I don't think he trained properly. He underestimated Ngannou, and because Fury hit him with some good shots and he took them, to be honest with you. So,
Yeah.
so I think he underestimated it a bit,
I do.
and
Yeah.
obviously underestimated his power as well. So caught him
Yeah.
with a good shot. So yeah. Going back to Ngannou, if he stays boxing, who would you like to see him fight in the heavyweight division?
Well, the WBC are talking of ranking him in the top 10, so the
Already
world's
from
his
one
oyster.
fight.
That's
Yeah,
one fight because of obviously what he's done. I mean, the world's his oyster really as regards what they're saying. He'd been in the top 10. He could fight a number of people. I've seen Frank Warren saying, well, I saw a caption online today. Frank Warren apparently said he's looking to do some business with him and getting him a big fight. He might even go Zhang. He promotes
yeah,
Zhang now. I would
yeah.
like to
That's
see
a
him in
hell
with
of a fight. Yeah.
be interesting to see. Both big punchers. Be
Hmm.
interesting, but I think I'd like to see him in with either Joshua or Wilder. For me, he's
Yeah.
a better boxer than Wilder.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I was going to say if it's going to be maybe I don't know. Zhang's a hard one though because I'm not sure if they get the people to watch that if it's based in the UK, maybe America or something like that. But
Yeah,
I feel in
good
Ghana,
point.
if you look at on a British fighter, then it's an easier sell, isn't it? In the
Yeah,
UK,
good
I think
point to that.
people
Yeah.
are interested in that. Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason why I was thinking Zhang, when Warren's
Mm.
saying about working with Queensbury
Yeah.
for a fight or what, two fights, I looked at the heavyweights who they've got. They've got Fury and Zhang, realistically, who
Yeah.
could, big heavyweights who they could fight.
Mm.
So it's one of them or do they promote him against, do deals with Matchroom for Joshua? I mean, I saw Eddie Earn saying about he
Yeah.
might even look to do Joshua and Ngannou. I think we need to be careful.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, we're still waiting for Wilder and AJ, aren't we? So I
Well,
think
I
we'll
think
still be talking
we
about
might have
this in
had
a
this.
few weeks.
Yeah, we might have had this conversation last time. I think.
We have, and it's still ongoing. We're still not really any clearer of any sort of idea of date or sort of time scale they're working there
Same
anyway.
old, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
even if we join you in like another 3-4 weeks, we'll probably still be talking about it then. To be honest
Yeah.
with you,
Don't
but
surprise, this is boxing for you. What we love.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, when it does happen, I'm sure, hopefully it will happen anyway. We'd be pleased anyway as
Yeah,
fans anyway. So
definitely. Yeah,
brilliant. Oh, well, that's it for this week's show anyway. So and thank you, Darren, for coming on.
no problem.
Appreciate you, yeah, coming on. Appreciate your time. Obviously, with the channel, any sort of comments, views, likes is much always appreciated. Like I said, want to talk to as many people as I can on this one, and also get your beers and snacks in for Saturday. Should be a good night. May get a French theme from me this Saturday. You never know on the tweet, so look out for it anyway. So, but yeah, thanks again, and yeah, good night.